Hello, friends. On March 31st, the anti-tank offensive by the 414th Magyar Birds Brigade continues to yield excellent results. And this time, they neutralized the mobile radar of a long-range S-300 battery in Luhansk Oblast, which clearly went into barbecue mode, as confirmed by two of the attack swarm's drones. The ones that are later seen in full retreat, reversing toward a Taurus-2 air defense system that's about to go to sleep with the Angels. They also come across an MTLV, which is an endangered species from the Donetsk steppes, and even more so after its encounter with the birds. Then they go on to target multiple military transport trucks, which move at night to try to avoid their predators. But we already know that these can see even better in the dark. The campaign to annihilate the Z air defenses continues. This can be classified as efficient use of military resources, since a reconnaissance drone observes as a platoon of 8 invading orcs gather in a house in the village of Sopich, Sumy region. Once the target is confirmed, it calls in an explosive variant colleague who quickly arrives at the position and greets the group of illegal tourists through a window, collapsing the farmhouse on them. What can I say? Extraordinary neutralization work. Air operations. On March 30th, the Sapsan team from the 105th Territorial Defense Brigade Chimera successfully intercepted a strategic attack drone, Shahed, which the Horde had fitted with, a modified Soviet R-60 infrared-guided air-to-air missile. There have been no reports of these anti-aircraft drones effectively hitting Ukrainian aircraft so far. So one of the theories is that their purpose is more to distract or threaten Ukrainian interceptors and helicopters rather than shoot them down, giving the rest of the swarm time to reach their targets, since defending pilots have to proceed more cautiously in their interceptions when they detect one of these modified drones. On March 31, the 412th Nemesis Unmanned Systems Brigade released footage of the massacre that their Mosquito drone operators are carrying out against the Invaders' robotic ground drones, which are operating in increasing numbers at the front, near the forward positions of the Horde. The Z ground drone fleet includes models such as the Courier, Depecha, Scorpion M, and others, which are increasingly used for logistical resupply, ammunition supply, casualty evacuation, reconnaissance node, mine laying, and fire support. This type of encounter shows us how combat is rapidly evolving into actions where only aerial and ground robots from both sides face each other. And so far, the Ukrainian drone fleet has managed to outperform its Russian counterparts. But it's not all about technology, as in this case, where a Ukrainian ground drone performs an evasive maneuver at the last moment before being hit by an attack drone from the invaders, saving the vehicle, which was able to continue its mission, thanks to human skill and composure.
También puede hacer una gran diferencia.
But the 3-day special military operation isn't going well. The Russian higher education authorities have ordered the rectors of the universities in Mordor to ensure that at least 2% of their students sign contracts for military service with the Ministry of Defense. The directive issued by the Minister of Science and Higher Education, Valery Falkov, was announced in early 2026 during a meeting with the heads of the main institutions. And its aim is to strengthen the Russian armed forces, given that voluntary recruitment for military service has dropped significantly. With approximately 2.2 million male students enrolled in Russian universities, in 2025, full compliance with the directive could mean up to 44,000 new recruits. If similar targets are applied to technical training centers, the number of new soldiers could reach nearly 76,000. Recruitment tactics include mandatory attendance at events, about the benefits of signing the contract, applying pressure to underperforming students, including threats of expulsion or denial of exam retakes, as well as performance targets for university administrators. Failure to meet these targets could be considered treason leading to them being sent to the front. Yep, everything is going according to the master strategist's plan. The Z Milblogger fighter bomber confirmed that the Horde lost one of its Antonov AN-26 tactical transport planes with 30 invaders on board. Apparently, the plane crashed into a cliff on the coast of Crimea near the village of Kyiv on March 31, resulting in the neutralization of all the orcs on board. This information was also confirmed by the Z Defense Ministry. Contact with the aircraft was lost around 6 p.m. Moscow time during a routine flight. The search and rescue teams located the wreckage shortly after, confirming that there were no survivors among the 6 crew members and the 23 passengers. Russian authorities attributed the incident to a technical failure, stating that there were no signs of external impact on the wreckage of the plane. The AN-26 is a twin-engine turboprop from the Soviet era, widely used for transporting troops and cargo, which has experienced a large number of technical incidents due to a lack of spare parts. But wait, that's not all, because the same fighter bomber also reported that Ivan had lost a Su-34 full-back fighter bomber, which had been trying to intercept a group of Ukrainian drones, but ended up being shot down in the process. It's not confirmed yet, but the source is usually quite accurate, so we can list it as a probable loss. Staying with the air war, I wanted to share with you this extraordinary photo of a MiG-29 donated by Poland. Ukraine, which now operates with the 114th Tactical Aviation Brigade and is carrying a full load of R-27ER and R-73 missiles, in addition to a high-visibility paint scheme to prevent it from being mistaken for an invader's bird. Good hunting, guys. One of those MiG-29S deals with the invaders, using a pair of French hammer-guided air bombs to destroy a nest of Z drone operators that had set up in a sports center within the occupied territory. It's unfortunate that such a beautiful center was destroyed, but neutralizing the orcs or squatters in the building was more important. From the ground, here we see the impact of 2 precision bombs dropped by a Ukrainian fighter bomber on an invader drone operator post in the city of Vasilivka. There aren't many occasions when we have access to this kind of footage, especially now with social media apps blocked in Mordor. To finish, I leave you with footage of a flight by a B-24 Hind attack helicopter from the Army Aviation over an old medieval castle in rural Ukraine, a reminder of the sacrifices that have been made over hundreds of years for the freedom of this land. If you want to see additional content about the war in Ukraine, I invite you to visit our 2 new channels where we present information about the war in a different format. Don't forget to check them out. Remember to visit our Patreon, where for just $1 you'll have access to a large number of uncensored videos and documentaries. Lastly, visit our store, where you can find items inspired by some of Ukraine's most outstanding units. Carry history with you, and with every purchase, you'll be supporting the United 24 program, which directly supports reconstruction programs, aid to the civilian population, and defense. Remember to like and subscribe to the channel